This isn't life! Episode 12. Episode 12.
Yes,
Yeah.
boys.
We back.
Here we are, back again.
Yeah.
Guess who's
Back
back with a
again.
brand new rap?
Wow.
It's banging.
That
What
was
we...
God, that was like deja vu. I swear we've had that exact opening line, maybe on the first pod.
Quite
Or the
possibly.
second. That was bizarre. You said exactly
Returned.
the same thing.
Yeah,
that was
we-
that was mad.
Return of the
Basics,
Mac.
Yeah, I'm sure that was mentioned as well. I think maybe we're
Potentially.
just really boring and we've got no personalities and
Yeah.
we can only say the same things over and over again.
That might be it. Yeah, that might be it.
We've run out of ideas.
Yeah. And it's only episode 12.
Yeah.
It's going to be a long year. This isn't life!
This podcast is sponsored by Dubby. Dubby was formulated to give you all the energies, all the focus, with no jitters or crash.
Yeah, I mean, we are talking no sugars, no calories, no maltodextrin, and no artificial colours.
You get 30 servings in every tub and it comes in over 8 different flavours. But you know what else is sick about them? Their merch. T-shirts, hoodies and stickers, all on their website. Go check them out now.
And when you're on the website, type in "This Isn't Life" for 10% off your whole basket total.
This isn't life!
We're recording this in a bit in advance, but I do want to see that film 65 with the guy who plays Rilo Ken. I called him Rilo Ken because I think he sounds
Oh.
better than Kylo Ren.
No,
But
Kylo
it's,
Ren. Kylo Ren actually is the
Yeah.
the hardest name for any Star Wars character, and secondly, he's my favourite character. Easily
Kylo
the coolest character they've ever created.
But he's got this
You
film
reckon?
out, 65.
Kylo Ren, yeah, even his name, Kylo Ren. You don't
Yeah,
get
it's
a
pretty
fucking
sweet.
harder name than Kylo Ren. When someone
Yeah,
says,
but he's a
"Oh
bit of a
shit,"
spoiled.
yeah, but when someone says, "Oh shit, Kylo Ren's coming," you're like, "Oh, you know it's on." You're throwing hands when Kylo Ren
Yeah.
comes. You're
Yeah.
you're not talking your way out of that. Kylo Ren don't
Yeah.
play no shit. He's like,
It is a
gangster.
bit. It is a bit different. You know, it's a bit different from. Oh no, Luke's here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what I
Everyone
mean?
knows a Luke, don't they? Everyone knows
Yeah.
a Luke.
Yeah.
Well,
who
Most
knows
of
a
the time, they're not
Kylo?
very nice.
One of my very dearest friends is called Luke, but even we call him
Exactly.
Parky, so even he don't
Yeah.
like Luke.
He doesn't like his name.
Yeah, but I mean, oh shit, Luke's coming, or shit, Kylo Ren's coming. He's got his walking
Yeah.
around money with him. He ain't
You
playing.
know,
shit.
Luke isn't out to start fights, is he? But Kylo is. So
Well,
Kylo-
there is that.
Kylo-
no,
is-
he's there to stop fights.
Do you know what? Do you know what they say? They say Kylo Ren is half human, half a Lu.
Ah, see that.
So he
Kylo Ren.
that combination of spoilt brattiness, dark side, and the Lu is unstoppable. Even Yoda knew
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, mischief, anger, and just general bad attitude.
Spoiltness, yeah,
Yeah.
but very emo as well. I quite like the
He
look
is.
of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He like
Very much.
down over one eye, isn't he?
Yeah, but that's
Got
where
a
the
lot of the film.
spoiltness come in. He was like, "Dad, you like Darth Vader? Is he Darth Vader's? No, he's not Darth Vader's son. What is he?"
Grandson.
Yeah, so he's like, "Oh, Dad, granddad, you don't understand me. I'm going to my room
Yeah.
to feed my crow and listen to fucking Smiths."
Evanescence.
Yeah,
But he has got a
Up
new.
inside.
he's got this new film, hasn't he? That's. Well, I mean, we're recording this in advance, so it's probably out
Yeah.
by now.
Living
Yes,
with a
called
Lu.
65. Yeah, he's literally living with a Lu. No, he crash lands on a planet, and it's
that does
it's
look
basically Jurassic Park with guns.
Yeah, that does
Right?
look
Yeah,
like
in
it's got the
space.
potential to be a banger or absolutely shit.
Yeah.
I just thought when the trailer was on, I thought, "Oh, this looks good." You know, it's got Adam Driver
Yeah.
in it.
That's his name, Adam
Everyone-
Driver. Bit different to
Everyone
Rilo
loves
Ken.
Adam Driver.
Oh, I
No,
forgot
we all
to
know
tell
what
you
you're talking
boys.
about.
I
I'm
went
sorry,
and
was
saw...
I boring you?
Oh, sorry, Will. I thought you stopped. Sorry, buddy. Sorry.
No, I was
My
just going to say
apologies,
that you know,
sir.
using dinosaurs, I thought this has definitely been done before. I thought it'd be cooler if it was like an alien thing. It could have been like like a new alien, something crazy. I like the idea, like Predator and that classic films, but they can always
Yeah.
be done better. I think an
Although
even
saying
scarier
that,
alien or something.
oh, what you mean? Not actual predator, but like a different
Yeah, something
species.
like a modern, proper horror film, the one that will last the
Yeah.
ages.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
is this is 12A, isn't it? This one coming out. So I think it
Is
is
that
like
it?
a. Yeah, I don't
No.
think it's. Yeah, I don't think it's
Like an
a.
adventure film.
Yeah, I don't think it's like an adult film.
But isn't it made by the guy who makes A Quiet Place?
Yeah, but that was only an
Was
alien
it?
film. That wasn't a horror film. I wouldn't class it as a horror film. I would let Leo watch that. Because the monster, the alien in it looks like a massive bug. It's not particularly terrifying. It's not like...
Are you
watch-
joking? Have you
seen
seen that film?
Do you know what? I went to cinema yesterday and I watched Cocaine Bear.
Oh yeah.
So much better than I thought it was going to be.
Really?
It's actually, if you take it for what it is, right, and you know what you're going into, it doesn't try and be anything else. It can only be, there is a storyline, and it's actually quite a solid storyline. A storyline you've seen many times, not with, well, yeah, it's basically a drug runner. Like, it's a true story, isn't it? A drug runner threw loads of cocaine out of a plane.
Yeah.
He went down to collect it, but don't want to give too much away, but he didn't make the landing, so they sent people in the woods to go and get it. This film premise is about the people that go trying to get the cocaine back, these gangsters who are quite funny, and two kids go up into the woods to go and draw a waterfall, but they get like roped into it. They actually do a lot of cocaine, the children. They put it in their mouth, but they do like 4 grams each.
Hell.
It is, and obviously the stupidness that ensues with the bear, like, it is nuts for cocaine. It is British supermodel crazy cocaine crazy.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah, it is Cara Delevingne cocaine crazy.
does Cara Delevingne do
Kate
cocaine?
Moss, allegedly.
Yeah.
Oh.
They've all had a bump, haven't they? Come on.
No, say you stay so stick thin, isn't it? But
Cocaine and
cocaine
bulimia.
and coconut water, all the seeds.
Skinny lattes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
But
next
yeah,
time.
so the film's actually sick, so go and watch it. But what I was going to say is going back to whether that's considered a horror film. The trailer come on for the new Evil Dead. Now,
It looks so good.
I've got a bone to pick with people and like TV. But I don't need for someone who doesn't really like horror. I'll admit it. I love like paranormal stuff, but I don't watch really anything with like. Even though I'm interested in it, like exorcisms and things like that. I find it interesting, but I don't watch things with it because it plays on my mind too much. I tend to stay away from paranormal stuff like that because it just plays on my mind.
Evil
Not
Dead.
my own shit.
Right.
But the new trailer is absolutely fucking horrific, and I shouldn't have to sit there like a 31-year-old baby with my hands over my eyes. I shouldn't have to do that, but that's what I
Listen,
done because it
look.
was so terrifying. It was too terrifying to be an advert. There's no way you can have an advert that gruesome. That was fucked.
I've not even seen the original. So
Well-
The original's funny, isn't it? It's got like that hand that moves on its own and stuff, isn't it?
Right, I'm a big fan of 80s horror, and I'm a big fan of horror in general. And the only gripe that I have with this film is that Ash, who is the main character,
Yeah.
isn't going to be in it. So, because I've watched the series, Ash vs. Evil Dead. Good series, to be fair. I like it. It's on Netflix. Go and watch it. The story of Evil Dead is there's a book called the Necronomicon, and the book basically wakes the dead. Him and his mates, they go to a cabin in the woods, and they find this book, and his mates all start to turn into deadites, they call them. And he kills them all, and he gets called Ashy Slashy by his hometown. And in the second one, he goes back, I believe, and he loses his hand. His hand then becomes
that's
a
it.
deadite, and that's how it walks along on its own and stuff like that. He then puts a chainsaw on his arm, so his hand is just a chainsaw. So he has a boomstick, which is a sawn-off double-barrel shotgun, and a chainsaw, and his job is just to kill. He calls it a boomstick, and his job is to kill deadites. Now, there is an element of
Are
comedy
they like
to it.
zombies?
Yeah, in a way, they're like possessed zombies, right? There's an element of comedy more to the second one than there is the first one. And then they didn't really want to do a third one, but they done something
They
where
planned it out anyway.
they've done it, but it's not Evil Dead. It's exactly the same, but he goes back to like medieval times. But you can imagine he's in a medieval times, but he's got a chainsaw for an arm, yeah? And it's funny. It's just funny. And the series, brilliant. Jeffrey Campbell, I think his name is something Campbell. Dean Campbell. Something Campbell, the guy who plays Ash. He's not going to be in Evil Dead Rise, from what I've heard. But
Okay.
I'm excited for it anyway.
And you would know, Alex, because you work as a rigger on film sets.
Here we go.
No,
yeah.
no, no.
Yourself?
I like horror. I can't help it. I love it.
Oh.
Right?
You won't,
and
you
I
won't
saw.
work on anything that's not horror, will you?
You like horror? and
I
you
have
also like
worked on a
horror.
horror film. I can't say what, but I have worked on a horror film.
Why
Yeah.
can't you say what?
NDAs, mate. Got to sign them NDAs. Can't say anything.
What, even once it's out?
Once it's out, that's fine, but I know it's not out yet.
Oh, it's not out yet. Okay.
No.
Alright.
It's Evil Dead Rising.
No, it's not. I wish it was, because that'd be awesome. It's not. But I will say that when you are working in a horror film, it's actually, you know, there's camera people around you, there's everyone around you, there's all the lights. You know it's fake, but it's still eerie.
Yeah, I bet it is.
It's still eerie being on set. It's weird. It's a
Yeah.
weird feeling.
I bet, man. I bet. Is it?
It's
Is
like
it
when
sort of
you're-
like you're behind the scenes at like a Halloween Horror Nights or something. That's what.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, like you know.
This stuff is people are walking around normal, but it's supposed to be a scary scene.
Do you know what it
Yeah.
is? It's like, you know, when you're watching a horror film for the first time and there's that suspense.
Yeah.
It feels like that, or it feels like you was alone in a unfamiliar place. You know,
Yeah,
that's the
okay.
feeling you get.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's
Yeah,
a
I imagine it
weird
would be quite
feeling.
eerie.
Yeah, it is eerie. It's a weird feeling. Well, Will, you've been passed the baton for this week. Would you like to give your story? Let's hit us off with a headline, man.
Of course. So, yeah, like I said last week, you guys, I think you're going to enjoy this one. I'm hoping there'll be a fair amount of debate because it's one of those things, mysterious. Let's say things happen. The headline is UK's UFO hotspots identified by cops as experts says sightings are far higher. So, UK's UFO hotspots identified by cops as experts say sightings are far higher. Yeah, terribly written, but here we go.
Well, if
Basically-
it's terribly written,
Do you want?
let's,
Can I guess the tabloid?
That's what I want to
Yes,
guess
you
as
can.
well.
I reckon you're
Star.
gonna get it in one. Yeah.
Is it the Daily Star?
Yeah,
is it?
yeah,
Is it?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough.
Always recognise their
Definitely.
journalism.
That's
I
it,
bet
mate.
there's, I bet
Terrible.
there's no commas or full stops or nothing, is there?
Oh no, nothing of the sort.
Capital letters in the middle of words.
Yeah.
Question marks before a sentence. I want to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say Oxfordshire or
Is it
somewhere
limb?
like that.
Oh
it,
really?
Go out on a
No,
limb. Yeah.
no.
Is it
No,
is
no.
it-
I just want to. It's
Hold on,
somewhere.
Hold on. Let's
What,
backtrack.
what?
Did you just say I'll go out on a limb?
Yes.
Isn't it whim?
No, it's limb, innit?
No.
Go out on a limb.
It's whim.
Um,
No, you're going out on a limb, aren't you?
Going out on a whim.
out
Is it
on a
whim
limb.
or limb?
It's whim.
Right, educate us, Will. Come on.
Out on a limb.
Podcast
It would make
researcher.
sense if it was limb, but I fear it's whim.
Having an opinion that is different from most people's and is unpopular. She's going out on a limb
Hey.
and criticising
Oh.
her own party leadership, but out on a whim. Whim meaning, I think this might be more to the point. A sudden wish or idea, especially one that cannot be reasonably explained. So I think what you mean, they are both a saying, but they mean different things. So out on a limb is like you're expressing an unpopular opinion.
So that's
Sorry,
a limb.
whim.
What I'm
Sorry.
doing. Yeah.
So what does whim
No,
mean?
no, you're
Whim,
right.
mate.
You were right. No, Josh was right. Josh was right. Out on a whim.
How was he? No.
Oh,
Yeah, out on a limb. Out on a limb is expressing like an unpopular opinion or something. But out on a whim is a sudden wish or idea, especially one that cannot be reasonably explained. So you going, I'm going to go out on a whim here and say it's Oxfordshire.
you fool.
Ah, all right. I stand corrected.
Yeah,
I stand
yeah.
corrected. But what I'm trying to get at is, I believe I know where one of these places are. So people go.
So you're going out on a whim?
automatically-
Yes,
Fuck off. Yeah, I'm going out on a whim. All right.
Okay.
So I'm going out on a whim, and people say aliens, and everyone mind goes, "Oh, Area 51, Roswell." Yeah.
yeah.
I believe one of the most famous English one was either Oxfordshire or Southampton or somewhere like that in the woods.
Okay.
So that you're going out on a whim there and saying it might be in Oxfordshire.
I think it might be in Oxfordshire. It's somewhere.
I'm
like
gonna say
Southampton, or it's somewhere.
Well,
It's somewhere in the woods that's not from where we are. if that makes sense.
you're right about that. Well, that's why they call it out on a whim, because you don't know where it is and you got it wrong. So there we are.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Where was it?
It's in Northern Ireland, apparently.
Oh, I'm talking about a different thing then, because there is one in mainland England.
Okay.
That
Well, I think you're going out on a whim here, Alex. To be honest.
I'm gonna find it. Tell it, Josh. If you've got any questions, go ahead. Will, if you want to tell us more, tell us more. I'm gonna find it.
Josh, have you got any initial questions, queries, or concerns?
No, absolutely none at this point.
Okay.
No, actually, no. I'm intrigued to find.
All right.
Did it tell you more about why Northern Ireland, or is it just this is a list now?
I don't know. I think it's just
Okay.
like basically saying that there are things happening in Northern Ireland. But
Okay.
so Northern Ireland has become a UFO hotspot. Police files show. ET experts say it has an amazing number of sightings for a population of less than 2 million people. Around 24 incidents were dealt with by the police service of Northern Ireland between 2016 and 2022.
Are they just bored? Because there's not many of them.
Maybe. I mean, you can guess what what they're looking at, what they think they're seeing. The sightings included a metallic spinning disc and 3 spaceships. In January 2021, there was a report of a spaceship and flashing lights in the Downpatrick area. While in May that year, cops had reported of white lights in Magaberry, and the odd disc in the sky over Schlemish Mountain, Coantrim. Flemish. Weird.
Well, I suppose why wouldn't they go to Ireland?
Yeah, it's
Northern
fucked up.
Ireland.
Just quickly, boys, I found what I was looking at. It's
Oh.
Rendlesham Forest, which was in Suffolk. Was the one I was
Oh.
thinking of. That is the most famous UK UFO sign.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Shout out
I
to,
knew it was
Suffolk.
somewhere.
So while in July, strange images on CCTV at a house in Newton's Abbey were reported, along with a dome-shaped object bearing 8 lights in the sky in the Saintsfield area between Belfast and Downpatrick. Now, this guy is apparently the investigator for the Ministry of Defence of UFOs. That was his.
What for?
job.
What for Ireland?
I don't know if it was for Ireland. It might just be for the UK in general. But
Because you
his
can imagine the
name
Ireland one
is-
never done anything. This is his one chance. Like,
Yeah. His name is Nick Pope.
also plays in golf for Newcastle apparently. So
Oh,
okay.
really?
Yeah.
He's moonlighting then, isn't he? He's
Yeah.
busy. Nick Pope, who investigated UFOs for the Ministry of Defence, said the true number of sightings was far higher than those logged, due to the stigma of saying you have seen a spacecraft.
Okay.
So,
How would he know the sightings? There's been more sightings if no one's reported it. How would he know that?
well, yeah.
Well, let's
How the
just.
f would you possibly know that?
There's one way, and before I go into it, when was this article published?
Let's have a look. March 11th, the other day, 2 days ago.
Okay, so really recent.
Yeah.
The reason I say that there is a potential way that this can be happening and saying that there's more sightings than what were actually said in the first place is I think it was roughly about 2 or 3 years ago. A website called the Black Box, I think it's called. I think it's called the Black Box, something like that, or the Black Vault or something. Basically, what happened is people all found out about Project Blue Book and Project Blue Book. I'm not going to go into it too much, but it's a project set up by the US.
It's what's being played out now as we speak.
Exactly. So it's being played out. So anything that to do with UFOs or unidentified flying objects. Now, obviously, an unidentified flying object is something that is unidentified. It doesn't have to mean it's aliens. It could be an unidentified plane.
Something that you don't know. Yeah, it might be a
Yeah.
foreign plane or something.
Exactly. So that's the line between skepticism and truth. And going back to what I was saying is that there has been a law that's been passed that any UFO sighting that has been reported has to come out to the public, basically. You can find on this website, Black Book or Black Vault or whatever it was called, you can find every single account and every bit of paperwork that has ever been published since the last couple of years of every UFO sighting ever recorded. They cannot hide anything anymore.
Well,
so
I mean, they definitely can.
They can, but there is a law against them now to say that you have to tell us about UFO sightings. So
and obviously, the American government always care about laws and stuff.
Well, I'm just saying, right? So
and they definitely will stick to that one.
Well, no. But if
I
this
believe
guy
in
from if this guy from Ireland, if this Nick Pope, did you say?
Nick Pope, yeah.
Yeah, Mick Pope.
Not to be confused with the real Pope.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with the goalkeeper of Newcastle either.
All that. If he's saying that there's more sightings than what were originally talked about, then he's correct.
Yeah,
he's right.
Yeah.
Am I right in saying that Project Blue Book, or is there Project Blue Beam as well? Or Project Blue Book?
No, I've heard Project.
One of them, either it's Project Blue Beam or Project Blue Book, actually outlines the elite's plan to slowly introduce an alien, like, first of all, it's sightings, like freaking sightings that have been on the news, like that one with the balloon, and then it was like, one there wasn't a balloon, but they haven't actually told us what it was. That all died down. You know, the one after the balloon.
Yep.
Oh, what, the Chinese balloons in America? Yeah,
but after the balloon, there was another one, wasn't there? And it was like they said it wasn't a balloon, but they don't know what it was, and that somehow swiftly it was on the actual news, and then swiftly got swept under the rug. That no one spoke about that again, and they didn't say what it was. So I think Project Blue Book actually is, I believe it was I don't know his profession. I don't know if he was like a researcher or a scientist, or he had a PhD. He weren't just like a TV reality guy. This was from like the 60s, and he was the one that he's the one that made this projection to that part of the New World Order. It would involve slowly introducing like an alien invasion or something like that to cause mass panic, and hence that's another step in total globe domination for the uber elites or whatever, who the nameless, whoever run the actual world. But he said this is how it would happen, and he said they've been doing it for years, like Steven Spielberg. That's why they release these films, because it desensitizes you to what they say. What that guy said in the 60s would be the potential, is the last step in taking mass control. Or one of the steps in them taking mass control. And I believe that's what Project Blue Book outlines.
Okay. Well, I'll just going back to what I was talking about, and I do confirm that it was theblackvault.com. It says their tagline is "Discover the Truth" at blackvault.com. Boys, I've just shared my screen with you. There's a PDF that I've brought up, and this is a scanned document of one of these sightings that have been leaked. The file contains not only many documentary photographs and drawings, but also testimonies about actual participants in the event. That's just one little snippet there from that document. this, I believe, if I was to zoom in on the PDF here, it looks like it was approved for release, dated May 2000. But what happened was that they got backlogged forcefully, so they couldn't actually be released. So this report was done in early 2000s, and it never came out until a couple of years ago. And that's the law that's been passed, where to say you need to tell people what's happening, basically. And I think doing that, as you know, Will, and people that have listened to this pod, so thank you for returning, but as you know, that Josh and myself are quite big in the UFO and alien believers. We do believe, and I believe, that they're doing this to make people desensitized to it. Same as Josh is saying about Spielberg making E.T. and, you know, aliens and signs and stuff like that. You know, all these films that come out, it's going to desensitize us to when they do come and we go, oh, it's just an alien. I think that's the way to go about it. Josh, I can see that your mouth is moving, but you're not actually saying anything because you're muted.
Excellent. How long have I been muted for?
A very long time, I think.
No, go on. Don't worry, I forgot what I was going to say anyway.
Yeah, so I think what going back to Will's article and Will's story, yeah, why not? Why not say that there's more sightings than that have been released? You know, he's well within his right.
You could say that. You could say that about, like, there's more people have been murdered than what the police know about. I mean, there's like a road in Alaska, I think it is, where like lots of women have been found dead, but they don't know who did it, and they think there's a lot more people there buried that haven't been reported. They're just still missing as it is, not actually dead. So you could say, I feel like you could say that. I mean, they are actually dead, but you could say that about a lot of things. Like, of course, there's going to be more than reported.
Yeah,
I get that. More people, more sightings and things. If they are here, then more things have happened than we can actually observe. But I'll keep reading. The 56-year-old previously said that unexplained signs of UFOs in the UK has been consistent since the 1950s. And the author added that some regular signs of potential extraterrestrial spacecraft defied explanation.
Obviously.
So, yeah. Yeah. This is it. Here we go. So a bit more background on Nick Pope himself. Pope worked for the British government between 1991 and 1994, and the author said
Short career.
Yeah, and the author said the possibility of other civilizations in the broad universe is real, and that can include friendly, hostile, or super predator species, much to the worry of the Earthlings. The UFO expert on Nicky Campbell's podcast, Different, where he spoke. This is so badly written, honestly. The UFO expert was on Nicky Campbell's podcast, Different, where he spoke on his time in the program and the sightings he witnessed.
We'll get this guy on with me.
Maybe.
Oh, Nick Pope. Shout out to Nick Pope wherever you are if you're listening.
Yeah.
But
please get in touch.
Yeah. He basically says that the bread and butter of his job was to investigate 200 to 300 sightings that they got each year.
And so each year, so he got 200 to 300 sightings each year. So let's say it's 300. We're talking 900 sightings in the 3 years of the service that he done.
I guess so. Roughly, yeah. Maximum.
That is a lot.
That's a lot of
Most
sightings.
of these turned out to be misidentifications, meteors, satellites and fireballs, and airships, bright stars and planets, lasers and searchlights, all of that. But in amongst that, consistently, not just in my time on the program, but dating back to the 1950s, there was this sort of hardcore of 5% or so sightings that we couldn't explain that seemed to defy explanation. And I just read that there straight out. So that's how badly it's written. Just like to say that is also the end of the fucking pile of shit I've just read. Just read. You know.
Yeah, like I say,
But it can spark a broader debate, I think, or something here. But I mean, it seems interesting that there's this consistent amount of sightings, but is there anything particularly about this place in Ireland that attracts these beings? To me, it just seems like, well, there's probably a consistent number of people calling in about sightings they've seen anywhere in the world.
The aliens might have left something buried
of use, yeah,
in that area of Northern Ireland, that they are keeping an eye on, or I don't know.
Why do they need to bury it though?
Well, no, I don't know. I don't know. Well,
the way I
I
possibly see going back to more sightings than what there was, it's changed my outlook when I've done the maths of he was only in it for 3 years, and he saw 900 of these sightings haven't been documented or released. Now,
I don't know if they've been documented. I don't know if they've been released.
That's what I mean. So they've been
that's
documented.
just what he's worked on.
Yeah, so what he's worked on 900 different sightings. Doing the maths in that in 3 years seems a bit far-fetched. But
not really. It's less than one a day, isn't it?
that's still quite a lot.
yeah,
One sighting of alien of
How many?
potential alien ship
He
a day.
said there's only 5% of them that were actually had any credibility to them. Where
Yeah,
they but
I guess
there's
you
not
probably
a lot
get
in
a
this
lot.
article, to be honest, but
I guess
And do you know what? That
get a lot with
5%,
meteors and stuff.
that
Yeah.
5% that he's saying is credible makes it sound more believable. You know, he's not sitting there going, "There was 900 sightings, and I believe every single one of them."
Yeah, but
He
all
said
he
that
can
5%.
say is that the 5% that are unexplainable.
Yeah,
That's how they get around it. Like you said, a UFO means unidentified flying object. It doesn't. It's only linked with aliens because
so films and stuff, innit?
Yeah, again, it goes back to films also because we supposedly shouldn't be able to identify any vehicle in the public eye. Everyone knows. You could name every single type of vehicle there is in this world because it's what you see. So if you saw a car or someone was driving around in a fucking transformer, that'd be a UFO because you've never seen one before, and you can't quite tell what it is. So it's an easy way to get out of it.
There's
I
even
reckon
people that make crop circles, isn't it? Like they're on QI.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah,
they were
brothers,
people
weren't they?
making them.
Yeah, that's
And
mental.
whether or not, but people were like, oh well, look at the symmetry of it, and it's like, well, all you need is a sharp blade or something, and then you fix it to a point in the middle, and then you can just walk around and make a perfect circle.
Do you know how they've done it? Right, they got a tape measure
Yeah,
to
tape measure,
measure
yeah.
out the diameter, a plank of wood, and a bit of rope.
That's it.
And
Yeah,
you would tread down the crops.
tread it down, yeah, rather than cutting it off, yeah.
But there's a difference. Now, if you look at a crop circle that is potentially real, where there's no evidence of humans making these crop circles, and the hoax crop circles, that there's a big difference in patterns, and there's a big difference in I watched a documentary not too long ago, and I actually believe that it was a documentary that Tom DeLonge had done with his company To the Stars.
How are you?
I believe it was called I believe it was called Unidentified, and they went to crop circles, and one of the big things was that a crop circle that had been made, which they made on the show and looked at it from a drone, looked very similar. But the difference was that when they got a paranormal investigator, there was a higher level of either radiation or interference from a crop circle that no one knows how it had got there to one that has been done with a plank of wood. And that's the unexplainability.
Are they saying that crop circles are spaceships? Is that the imprint the spaceships made on the By landing?
They say that it's either where they're landing and they're making it, like you say, or they're doing it as a landmark for them.
Or they're
As a
doing
landmark
Or for
to
some
say,
kind of...
like a brand.
not a brand, but like a point of interest.
It wouldn't stay there, would it? Because the crops would eventually grow over it.
Well, that's
They're
the thing.
certainly very obvious, considering that we've never actually met one of these fellas, and they've never come down.
Allegedly.
All we see is
Allegedly.
Yeah.
It just none of it. Two different pieces of evidence doesn't tie up. They don't tie up. They're all circumstantial or.
Yeah, it's like
these are very impressive. A lot of these are very impressive, and you could say, "Wow, yeah, they look very extraterrestrial in a way." But I'm only getting that from the fact that we've all seen The Sixth Sense.
Yeah, I think
I
put crop circles in the same kind of bracket as I do, like UFOs linked to cattle mutilation as well.
Yeah.
Weirdly. Now, these are the same people, and like on Ancient Aliens and stuff, as good as that program is, I don't know how you can honestly link these beings that you say are so far advanced, they can essentially warp space and time, so they can travel in seconds, like millions and millions and millions and millions of miles. They can move at will, because like all the UFOs, they don't sort of fly. Have you ever seen the video of a supposed UFO where they start there and they're there, then they're there, because they're not actually moving that fast. They're like bending space and time, so it looks like they're levitating to different places. Or I suppose that's what they say. That's how fast they move. It bends time, so it looks like they're just appearing. If they're that clever, what is the reason for them to mutilate a cow? Because we would be like cows to them. Cows would be like an amoeba to them. So how that got linked to it, I don't know. That's just a farmer who's got pissed. He owes his land. He owns the land baron money. He's gone out with his takings, gone down the house, got absolutely rat-arsed. He's promised his wife he'll pay the man tomorrow. He's left the gate open. The wolves have got into his cattle. He's now can't sell any cattle, and he's gone. Do you know what it was? On my way home from the bank, getting your money.
Yeah.
I saw the greys come down, and they just f***ed up all 100 cows. They just ripped them apart for absolutely no reason at all.
Yeah. They do look very similar to sort of like a farming accident, but I promise you it wasn't.
It was almost like they're stubby. They opened the gate with their mind. They didn't even have to open the gate with their fingers. So that's how that's come. That it makes no sense to me. I don't that and crop circles. It has no like you say. It's very primitive for how clever they're supposed to be.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, very sort of very slapdash and.
If it was burnt into the earth and you couldn't remove it, you'd go, yeah, all right, fair enough. If they
You know
took
what?
a team of 100 workers trying to remove it for 50 years and it won't come off, then yeah, fine. That's weird.
I don't claim to be a paranormal investigator or a UFO researcher or anything like that, but I think my knowledge is fairly decent in terms of what the majority know. I think I know. Yeah. I think I know a fair amount, and I agree. I don't believe crop circles are a thing in the sense that they are real. I think maybe there was one. The biggest thing for me is that I think it's in America. There's a national park that you can go to, and in this park there's a mound, and it just looks like a hill in the middle of this grass. But when you look at it from the sky, it's a whole serpent, and they call it the serpent. And it's like, well, why is it there? Who put it there? Now I know
I'll tell you who put it there.
A place.
God.
The Chichihuri. I told you, the Draconians. It's always about reptiles.
Well,
I said this the other day. It's always about the reptile. Because they are the dominant race. They are the dominant species.
Why is it there? And how
Not
did it
anymore.
get
They've
there?
never been since like the Triassic.
No, they're the
period.
ones that are running the fucking world. Wake up, Will.
But how did this serpent get there? So when you're saying about crop circles and stuff like that, I don't believe in crop circles. But I will believe that this serpent mound in this park How did it get there? What is it? And why is it there? And why is there such
And who done it?
an electric... and who done it? Why is there such an electromagnetic
Pull to it. Yeah.
vibe off of it?
Yeah.
Why?
Why would you believe that over crop circles?
Because it's been proven that crop circles can be made in one night.
Yeah. It can be man-made.
And art is a thing. Where, as you look at this mound, no one knows how it got there. And
Can I see this mound?
you can see this mound. I will pull up the mound. Yeah, and do you know what? I'll stick the mound on our Twitter over at This Isn't Life Pod.
Yeah.
So the Serpent Mound is in Idaho.
Uh-huh.
When I say serpent, like, I'm not talking it's like a detailed snake, you know. But from what it looks like, it's like a squiggly line, but right at the end, it looks like it's eating an egg. So,
or is it eating an apple? Like
knows?
The Garden of Eden.
Potentially. But here it is, boys. So I've pulled it up for you.
Oh,
And that
is weird though.
is what it is. I actually believe that's a painting of the mound.
Nuts.
But
Like, what? But what is that?
You know,
oh, is that a
that
painting?
was
I was going to say.
that is a realistic.
What is it you're
painting
saying
of the
about it?
mound.
What is it you're saying? Why do you believe it?
Well, how did it get there? Who put it there? And why? Why is that there?
What is it made out of?
Why do you attribute that to aliens, to something that we don't know? That, like, why is that more of a credible explanation than humans were quite ingenious and probably more ingenious than we thought, even in the earlier ages of our civilization? Why isn't that just a more a better theory, a better way of looking at it, rather than going, aliens came down and drew it for no apparent reason?
But what reason? Right. So okay,
Exactly.
I'll answer that. No,
saying.
I'll answer that in two very different ways. Why did aliens come down in no apparent reason to draw that? Well, what is the reason? Is it now no use to them, but it was once upon a time ago, right? But also, I know there's a place in Essex where we're from. I can't think of the place, but it's not far from us. I don't know where, but I know it's not far. It's not a far drive. There's a mountain,
Daywick.
right? No, it's close.
Yeah, they're all aliens over there.
Oh,
But it's a mound, right? And it's a burial mound.
Right.
So when we had a war or whatever, hundreds of years ago, we'd put people in the ground, but instead of digging separate graves, you just put them in one mound.
Are you? Oh.
And it grows pretty much similar to the mound you're looking at. Now, I'm not saying the mound you're looking at in the terms of they've done it into a snake, because that's got to be a lot of dead people to fill up this thing that we're looking at here. Right?
What is it made out of though? Just the grass? What, the pattern always grows that way?
Well, these days, the grass around it is obviously cut because it's a national park, right?
Yeah.
So the mound is where dead bodies are underneath, yeah?
Not this. Not in this one. They don't know what's under it. Because they can't actually dig it up because it's protected.
Okay.
Being a national park, right?
But where's the alien aspect to this then?
Well, they don't know how it got there. Don't know what it's for, and don't know
why. But why is it in the
why
shape
is
of a
that
snake?
aliens? You go.
I'll tell you why it's in the shape of a snake. Shall I? Do you want me to tell you why it's in the shape of a snake?
I know what you're gonna say. Reptilians.
Yeah. Why do you think? Don't you think what is the logo of Apple?
It's an apple.
Yeah. What is? But it's not just an apple, is it?
Apple with a chunk out of it.
Yeah. Why? Why is it that? Because it goes
Microsoft
back
has already
to
Steve Jobs died before he could finish it off.
the the Garden of Eden, and the snake, the serpent, giving Eve the fucking apple. Because you weren't supposed to have it. She weren't supposed to have the apple, but she took the apple anyway. We weren't supposed to have all this. This technology. Why are they so big? This is part of the whole process of keeping you under control. You can't. If you'd have said to my mum when she was 18, in 30 years you will have a device that you will never be able to put down. You need it to function in your. Most people need